Hi everybody, today we have TIG welding. We weld a carbon steel pipe with a diameter of 60 and a wall thickness of 5 mm, bevel angle 30 degrees. Ceramic cup number 11, tungsten electrode is 2.4 in diameter. There is also a gas lens inside the torch, which provides a more uniform gas flow and provides better weld protection. The stick out of the tungsten electrode is 4 to 6 mm. We use FM1 group filler metal diameter of 2 mm for root welding and 2.4 for fill and cap passes. We weld in 4T mode. The gas pre-flow is half a second, the post-flow, 2 seconds. 80 to 90 amperes for root welding, 86 to 94 amperes for fill, 91 to 99 amperes for cap pass. Downslope time 2 seconds. We use argon as a shielding gas. Gas flow rate 6 to 8 liters per minute. Before welding, we clean the pipe from the inside in the root formation area. Before fit up, we make a 2 mm root surface using a grinding machine. For assembly, we use a corner jig and an additional metal rod with a diameter of 3.2 mm. We put 3 tack welds at an equal distance from each other. When the first tack weld is done, we pull out the metal rod, otherwise it will stick. From now on, we will use only one end. When welding tack welds, we add additional metal from the inside of the pipe so that we get a root. Before welding, we clean the tack weld, in which direction we begin to move, so that we have a good fusion. To attach the pipe to be welded, we use a smaller diameter pipe as a counterweight or attach it to a table or corner jig by welding. Tungsten sharpening is very important for welding, it must be perfect. To do this, we take it out of the torch, unscrew the rear tail and pull out the electrode. We use a special machine to sharpen the tungsten electrode. We put the electrode in the jig, push it into the socket, which helps us adjust the stick out, and turn. We turn on the machine, put the electrode in the machine and turn it. Now we put 60 degrees, fasten, turn on the machine and sharpen. We sharpen tungsten from both ends. After sharpening, we put the tungsten back into the torch. As we remember, the stick out of the electrode is 4 to 6 mm and we screw the tail on. The stick out is measured from the edge of the ceramic to the tip of the tungsten. Root welding performance technique. We use the upper tack weld as a support surface for the filler metal rod. When welding, we put the filler metal to the root surface. The torch angle is 80 to 90 degrees at the start. We constantly keep the filler metal inside the welding pool, and we go up by slightly changing the angle of the torch until we reach the tack weld where the angle of the torch is 70-80 degrees. After welding the root, we clean the weld metal surface. Fill pass. When welding the fill pass, do not place the torch perpendicular to the surface of the pipe, otherwise there is a risk of the root sinking. Place the torch tangentially, heat the weld pool, give filler metal and distribute to the sides. Be careful not to burn the edges, they will be our guidelines when welding the cap pass. If more filler metal is needed, we move the rod towards the weld pool. If not much metal is needed, we just move the tungsten towards the rod. We heat the weld pool. As soon as the weld pool is formed, we add the filler metal. If we don't need to add a lot of additional metal, we just keep it in place and quietly move in its direction. If the groove is still deep and more additional metal is needed, we gradually add it to the weld pool. And we move up. The last pass is done. Let's compare our detail to the standard.